is a self-reinforcing monopoly, at least according to the government.
A frantic search for victims in Morocco continues after the massive earthquake. Nearly 3,000 people have died so far. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
The 5 American.
It's time for the Big Iron Farm Show. The Midwest's largest ag show is coming to the Red River Valley Fairgrounds September 12th through the 14th. Come out and watch live demonstrations, explore over 500 exhibitors, learn the latest in agricultural industry, and hear from industry leaders. Plus, all your food favorites will be there too. It's the 43rd annual Big Iron Farm Show, September 12th through the 14th, presented by Cass County Farm Bureau. For more information, visit BigIronFarmShow.com.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. It's 1:06. It's Tuesday, right, guys? I think it's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
I've lost track of all my days. That means that it's Spray Day Tuesday.
Today
until
is
it's
Chemtrail Spray Tuesday, and looking outside, not seeing much in the way of any of our government poisoning us today. So I guess that's a good thing.
Jesus.
We're good, guys. That doesn't actually exist, right?
Hey, guys, where are we right now? This is a nice little building we're in.
You know, for a guy who doesn't know what day it is, he hasn't been on the air recently, and he can't even identify our location. I'm a little concerned about your well-being.
You don't worry about how I've been.
It's lack of sleep.
You folks just tell me where we're at, because this is not the studio. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore either. We're out at Big Iron today
in the Morton building.
Yeah, Morton building. And
stop out and say hi. And
Dean, you got stuff to give away, don't you?
Yes. So if you log on to Weather and Ag Facebook page and you give us the word of the day, you got to have the word of the day. Be the first one out here to tell us what the word of the day is.
What's the word of the day?
Can't tell you. You got to log on to our Facebook page to find out.
Oh. Well, why would anyone want to do that?
Man, can we get rid of him early today, Bridgette? Is that okay?
If you let me drive the cart later, I can make that happen.
Well, we got fun things coming up on the show today. We got a few ag topics we'll try to get to. We probably won't because we're kind of booked full of guests today.
And that's because we're going to start out, first of all, with our first guest, and that is Zane Erickson. Zane is with North Star Ag out at Tower City. And here's the fun thing. So we did an interview this morning, a little bit of video work. If there is something that you need in the short line equipment realm, these guys have it. And for those of you who are traveling on I-94, you're going to see them at the exit 307, you said, right?
Tower City exit.
On that southwest part of the interchange. So what were some of the things that we looked at this morning, Zane, as far as your equipment line?
So we started off with the Thunder Creek field trailers. We have quite a large inventory of Thunder Creek with all the different options and trying to speed up people's fueling operation servicing. And then what we ended up was the fertilizer spreaders, the Amazon fertilizer spreader. It's got a lot of good technology that most spreaders don't.
Okay, so here's the fun part. For all of those who are listening and don't always know, okay, guys, pop quiz.
Okay.
What's a fuel trailer?
What kind of soda?
Right. You can have a Coke later. Okay, so have you seen fuel trailers before?
I've seen trailers.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I might have, but I don't know.
So let's describe what you were showing me this morning, Zane.
Yeah, so they're 990 gallons, so that's under the hazmat law. Fuel trailer. It's one big fuel tank behind you, and dual axle with DEF, 100 gallons of DEF, 40 gallon minute pump. And the one we were looking at this morning was kind of a service trailer where it had compressor generator, toolboxes, light tower, all electric jack, all the fancy fancy stuff or whatever.
So for all the times that we talk on air about safety, blowing off the dust in soybeans, sunflowers, right? So this has the compressor on it to do that, number one.
Oh, right on.
Flat tires. Because how often do you have flat tires on your farm equipment, Zane?
Quite often.
All the time.
Yep.
Okay. My brothers actually tell the story that they are so constantly changing or dropping off tires to be repaired at the local dealership that the dealers now just assume if there's a tire they don't know who it belongs to to our farm.
Yep.
Okay. That's how often you have flat tires. And so additionally, you've got toolboxes on there so you can keep everything secure.
Yep.
And a generator. Plus the light tower. Okay. Because combine at night quite a lot.
Absolutely.
Our next guest told me he was combining canola yesterday until he got on the road to get down here at like 2 a.m.
Oh,
so
wow. Jeez.
if you got to do repairs, you better have some bright lights.
Yeah.
while you're out
Sounds
there.
like the ultimate little trailer.
It really is. You would love this thing.
They're pretty
Let's go
neat.
check it out after this.
I think we should. Again, I'll drive.
We'll get some photos and video, throw it up on the Facebook page probably by tomorrow.
They're
You'd like
super
that.
stylish too. They're probably one of the nicest looking trailers you can pull around.
What color are they?
Well, whatever you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Gray. I shouldn't say that anymore. They changed that now. Where they got 5 colors. They got gray, white, black, red, green, and blue. 6 colors.
I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes you want all your stuff to match.
Right.
Well, of course you do.
What's your biggest seller?
So I would say we have a handful of biggest sellers. Seed tenders is what we started in, what we're probably best known for. Field trailers is another one. Conveyors is another one that we sell a lot of. I think I just pulled some numbers of the last 3 years. We've sold something like 300 seed tenders in the last 3 years, 300 conveyors, and like 275 field trailers or something like that. So those are kind of our 3 biggest sellers as far as unit numbers.
So for anybody listening that's out here at the Big Iron Show, you guys running any specials or?
Yeah, yep. So on the field trailers, we're running free toolboxes, 5-drawer front toolboxes for anybody that's buying a field trailer through the end of the month. So.
One of the things we didn't look at was the grain baggers.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
So, you guys, this is one of those field trip type moments we should be out there for, because it's not like you're just shoving corn in a hefty bag and putting it at the end of the field. This is a whole setup and operation to get this done. And I have been asked, do raccoons chew through them, or what's the poly like on those bags? Yeah,
so
before you get bugs and critters.
Most bags are about 9 mils or 9 to 10 mils. And of course, anything can puncture them if they try hard enough, type of deal. I would say for the most part, it's pretty a non-issue, but it is something you want to be cognizant of, where you put them, how you place them, as well as your water drainage. Make sure you're not putting it in the bottom of the ditch.
That would be a great idea.
So we're not getting moisture in the bag and stuff like that. So I would say it's almost more where you place them than the animals.
Well, it's not easy to get grain storage right now, and it can be fairly expensive.
Correct.
This is a different way to do that.
Yep, and it serves as kind of I always say a tool in the toolbox. So grain bagging isn't just a form of grain storage. It's also, if you're in a labor crunch.
Okay.
So like a lot of guys out western part of the state they don't have as many truck drivers as they should, so they'll go and combine and then bag the whole crop, and then they'll go pick it up as they get done combining. So there's multiple ways of utilizing it. Like on our farm, we don't have a large enough dryer, so we're constantly up against the dryer with filling the wet bin. So we're constantly filling bags with wet corn, and we kind of use that as our extended wet bin.
Right. Well, we got a little 20-acre plot of soybeans that we're growing up here in Fargo. Some of the equipment that you got and whatnot, is some of it applicable for what we're doing with just a small little operation, or are you more bigger stuff, or do you got something for both and everything in between?
So what we focus on is large ag,
Sure.
But obviously, it's you can apply it to smaller stuff, but for the most part, large ag.
Right on.
And, I saw something here about tiling.
Yep.
Are you guys doing tiling, or you're selling tiling equipment? What's that option of your business?
So we like to think ourselves as a tile destination.
I like that.
So what that means is we can provide you with the tile, we can provide you with the equipment to tile, and then as well as the tile plant. So kind of a turnkey location for your tiling.
You guys, there is so much equipment we really need to drive that we haven't yet. It's ridiculous. I mean, we haven't been on a tile plow.
We're slowly adding to the list, and we're slowly taking more slowly taking things off of the list.
Okay. Do you have a big part of your yard that's a demo, so where all your equipment's at that we can just come out and test it?
Well, I keep on trying to buy the quarter to the south for that purpose. Not really have any success doing that.
Dean, help him out. Just go ahead and buy that, and then
get her done for me.
You guys have already jacked up my credit from earlier.
Minor situation. Yeah. Really, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Last year we did get it rented because it was PP'd, and we were able to plant it a cover crop and then have field days. And it actually worked out really well, so I hope maybe we can do that more in the future.
So when someone comes to your lot and they want to start looking at a piece of equipment, is it pretty normal to say it's not just going to be one item? It's, you kind of start building on while you're here, have you thought about this item? And what's the two things that you probably connect together the most?
So we try to put the whole package together. So a good example would be fertilizer spreaders and self-propelled conveyors. So, buy a fertilizer spreader, how are you going to fill it?
That's a good call.
Conveyors are pretty good. Or a Meridian hopper bed and a grain auger, or so we try to complete the whole package, and also have enough stuff to keep the customer coming back in the door. So if I sell you a seed tender, if I only sell seed tenders, which I started with, so I've done this, it's a long time before you need a new seed tender. So we try to have enough products to keep people coming back through the door. And
so Zane, what makes your equipment stand out above anybody else's?
I wouldn't say it's the equipment. It's more the dealership or the model we have. Okay. So we're a full service short-line machinery dealership. Which is kind of rare. Previous to, for the most part, short-line machinery was marketed through the main line. So the John Deere, Case dealers, ACO dealers. That was where most of all the machinery was marketed through. Well, as the consolidation in ag has happened, those dealership groups have gotten larger, and the main lines have kind of started to push out the short lines. So our model is anything without a motor and without a transmission. So we try to stay as true to that model as possible to stay in a short line machinery business, because you start adding more overhead, and all of a sudden we kind of lose our identity.
Absolutely.
So we're strictly short lines. We don't do anything else. We like to focus a lot on value-added stuff. So we try to be a partner with our customer and provide the full-service approach type of deal. Because it doesn't matter if a guy buys a $20,000 conveyor or a $200,000 tractor, he still expects full service on anything he buys type of deal. So. And
you also farm, so you have hands-on experience with all the equipment that you're moving.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everything we sell, we typically use on our farm. And that's kind of how we started. It was out of the need of our own farm, trying to find unique equipment that the other dealers weren't selling. And it just kind of turned into us being a full-service short-line dealership.
And how big is your range of service? Because you've probably got customers over an extensive number of miles.
Yeah, yep. So we always say the whole state of North Dakota, northern South Dakota, the valley in Minnesota, and then the eastern edge of Montana.
Well, hopefully you're starting to cross the border for some of the international.
Yeah, yeah. The exchange rate kind of hurts us there.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, that's okay, because our next guest is actually Canadian. Maybe you could negotiate.
Oh, yeah. With him. A lot of our suppliers are Canadian, actually.
Well, that's ideal. And then this guy is actually a farmer. You might want to stick around.
Yep.
QuickDick McDick is going to be joining us next. Yep. He is down here for Big Iron. We have him stopping by at 1:30. He's going to join us to visit.
Nice. Is he down here all 3 days? Or?
I believe he is.
Well,
yeah. So should be a good time. And lots more things that we're going to do here at Big Iron. Tomorrow from 11 to 1, we're going to have a social media meetup right here in the Morton building. And the folks from Tillage Tuesday on Twitter are going to be here to visit.
Oh, awesome.
So swing in then.
Yep.
And right now, we're going to take a little breather. All of us need to take a slug of the drinks in our bottles, and not that kind of drink. We're just having like Mountain Dew and water.
Tell them that.
Right.
Speak for yourself.
Fine. All right. So we will catch up with everyone right after this.
Livestock is mixed with hogs flying after this morning's WDAY report. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. Now, with the cash cattle market still quiet and this mid-morning's WDAY report not sharing anything too crazy, the market is seeming to patiently wait for cash cattle interest to develop before it does much more of anything. Today's WDAY report shouldn't gravely affect either the cattle or beef markets. Beef production for 2023 was decreased by 40 million pounds as lighter marketings are expected in the third quarter. It was also mentioned that this projection is coupled with the fact that carcass weights are heavier and cow slaughter speeds are expected to remain high in both the third and fourth quarters. Quarterly steer prices are unchanged from last month for both 23 and 24. 23 beef imports grew by 35 million pounds from last month as high beef demand remains strong and ample supplies from Oceania continue to come in. Meanwhile, 2023 beef exports fell by 160 million pounds from last month as domestic supplies are tight. Box beef prices are mixed, choice up 24 and select down 172 with a movement of 66 loads. Hogs, however, are trading fully higher, and in the report this morning, 2023 pork production was decreased by 105 million pounds as production speeds have been reduced and carcass weights are lighter. 2023 imports were increased by 25 million pounds, but 2023 exports were decreased by 125 million pounds as an effect of weaker demand. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers. This is the American Ag Network. Corn is native to the American continents and was unknown to the rest of humanity until Columbus arrived in the New World in the 15th century. It took less than 100 years after Columbus's discovery for corn to be introduced to farmers in Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Pacific Islands. After wheat and rice, corn is the third most cultivated crop in the world. The four nations that purchase the most corn from the United States are Mexico and Colombia, who use it as a food ingredient, and Japan and South Korea, who buy it mainly for animal feed. Around one-third of the corn grown in the United States is eaten by livestock, another third is used in the production of ethanol fuel, and the rest is either consumed by humans, exported to other nations, or used industrially. Now that sweet corn, that's the variety that most Americans grill or boil for cookouts or just eat straight out of a can with a spoon, accounts for just 1% of all corn grown in the United States. These farm facts brought to you by the American Ag Network. Let's get a look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle October down 15 at 184.07. December up 17 at 188.45. February down 15 at 192.57. And the April live cattle, they're up a nickel at 196.47. Feeders September down 75 at 255.47. October down a nickel at 261.40. Lean hogs October up 240 at 84.95. December up 175 at 76.40. And the February lean hogs, they're up a buck at 79.85. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:22 in this afternoon. Hey, if you're out at Big Iron, stop on out by the Morton Building. Get the keyword of the day on our Facebook page when you're one of these rain gauges. Yeah, sorry, Joseph, you can't put the word in the chat.
Gotta be here in person.
Gotta be here in person, dude, and that's how you win yourself one of these rain gauges. And we only have so many. We don't have. It's not every single person who stops here, right? How many do we got?
We got two. So
we have two of them.
First two people to give the keyword of the day. You'll have a chance to win this rain gauge. So.
Yes, so we got a couple of those out here, and our next guest that'll be joining us is going to be joining us about 10 minutes from now. That's QuickDick McDick. He's down here at live.
What'd you say?
Big Iron as well.
QDM.
Yep, QuickDick McDick.
He'll be here shortly.
He's going to be joining us here in just a moment. And
yeah, if you're not sure who he is, he's big on you. He's a farmer up in Saskatoon.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
And
he's gonna give me a dirty look.
His YouTube videos are hilarious.
Informative.
And very informative.
Yep.
Often makes fun of the government and their rules and regulations.
And he's got a background in oil and gas. So he's got the background in energy, but now he also farms. So he can tie both of them together really well.
Yeah, yes. Well, for those of you listening out here at Big Iron, or if you're out on the golf course or in the backyard with a day off from work, or maybe you're stuck at work, you got some evening plans, you want to know what the forecast is going to be looking like out there for the next couple of days. Dean, what do we got outside the area for the rest of today and through the rest of this week? Because we got a 3-day event that we're live out here.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll tell you what, the weather's going to cooperate out here all during the event. Might see a little rain on Thursday, but other than that, it looks pretty good. We've got temperatures right now currently right around the 60-degree mark, and we're looking at partly cloudy skies for the rest of the day with highs today around 66 or so. It might be a few degrees warmer in some areas with temperatures dropping down tonight to the low 40s. There were some areas that were flirting with the frost potential this morning. We didn't here in the FM area, but we were in the low 40s. I know Grand Forks was in the mid-30s.
Yeah,
light winds, a lot of dense fog.
It sure didn't feel like 35 this morning when I woke up.
And so, quit waking up at 10 o'clock and it won't.
Yeah,
you know? Quit sleeping in. Quit sleeping in.
You know.
But tomorrow we're looking at the possibility of some more patchy fog, temperatures in the low 40s, light winds out of the southeast. Winds do pick up tomorrow afternoon. Under partly cloudy skies, we'll have highs into the low to mid-70s. Then a little disturbance comes our way on Thursday. Could give us a chance for some scattered showers and storms with highs in the upper 70s, and then we'll cool it back down into the low 70s for Friday through the upcoming weekend. So outside of Thursday, and again, it's not an all-day rain or anything like that, but just hit-and-miss showers, maybe an embedded thunderstorm on Thursday.
So there's going to be some other fun things for people to come and see while they're enjoying the nice weather and coming out to Big Iron. One of them is Titan Machinery's here. And they are one of our Here We Grow sponsors. They are our local Case IH regional dealership. Titan's got a really nice display. It's actually right to the west of us out these doors, so people can see Titan's machinery and then swing in to visit with us. And I would venture a guess that tomorrow the guys from AB Seed might be able to swing in if they're not in the field, because it will be the hashtag Tillage Tuesday meetup. Parker might be able to swing in, and AB Seeds is one of our sponsors for Here We Grow, provided us with Invita, which is a nitrogen sourcing product that we were able to use for our soybeans. So,
and you were out there last week, right?
I was.
And so how's it looking?
So our beans are starting to turn. They're senescing, as it's called. They're getting ready to go to harvest and maturity. Going to be a couple weeks until we harvest yet, but I don't know if our video has had a chance to get up yet because we had some editing that had to be taken care of, but there's something missing that used to be there.
Is it
you
gone?
Saying that.
Is it gone?
It's gone. You're going to have to watch the video to see it, but yeah, that thing that surprised us is now gone again.
Did you find your pig?
No, but I looked for him. I did bring with, though. I didn't find my pig, but Adventure Chicken came along today.
Well, don't bring him. You're going to lose that one, too.
You'll lose that out here.
I hope not. He is a playmate, if you will, of the pig that I lost. But this was a this was a chicken that was sent to me as part of a Twitter trade, and Adventure Chicken goes places with me.
Right on. That's
good deal.
super. You can take pictures of Adventure Chicken and put them up on Twitter as well?
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of him sitting on my dashboard while I'm safely parked. And
safely parked? Why are you parked in the middle of an interstate? Don't worry about it.
There was road construction, but it's fine. So, yeah, for folks to come on out, one of the other things that they can do is not only telling us our word of the day for the rain gauge, which thank you again to Productive Alternatives in Fergus Falls, but guys, I brought you each a gift.
Oh, what do we got here?
These little aluminum cuffs.
Is this a muffin pan?
I would very much like for one of the folks who is listening or watching to come by and help you understand what those are for.
I know what this is. So this goes over the top cap of a container, so you get more torque on it to open up the top.
I like your concept, but no, that's
a
not
good
what
idea.
It's for.
It's just like one of those, you know, that
is it a big
the old
lug nut
dishwashers?
Wrench?
It's not a wrench.
No lug nut wrench?
They have the old detergents in the 5-gallon buckets to get the cap off. You need like a big old wrench to get it. I thought this was it.
Okay, so here's the deal. You guys have today to figure out what these are.
It's a
for those who can't see them, they are an aluminum round item. There's a hole on each end. They're flared. You're also going to notice that through the inside of that cuff, if you will, that there are ridges in there.
Ridged.
And so I can tell you that it has something to do with corn. And you probably
has something to do with corn?
This is how you take the corn off of the cob.
You can take very nice. You can actually use that to twist it over the cob to remove the kernels.
Jam the cob into this thing
my
and
question
you twist.
is, will this work for...
No.
Sweet corn?
Yeah.
No, because sweet corn is much softer, higher water content. That would just smush.
Man.
This is when you're looking at grain corn that's dry, and it's going to take the kernels off for you. A lot of times you do a moisture test. You're estimating yield. That's what these are for. These are corn shellers. And now that I look at it, I believe it's actually stamped with corn sheller right on the end.
Oh, look at that.
Way to pay attention.
Why didn't we just read that? Oh, we got to squeeze a dumb today.
So here we go. I brought you guys a toy, and now we know what it is.
Hey, do we have a guest in our last segment?
We have our guest that's coming now is staying through the rest of the show.
Oh, right on. Well, I was going to say, Maybe we'll hold off till later then for people to call in what their moisture content is in their crop around the area.
We would love to hear that, and we are also going to be able to do that the next 2 days.
Yeah, if you do want to join in on the program, ask our upcoming guest. Will be QDM QuickDick McDick joining us at 1:33 here. Red Wing Shoes phone line 701-293-9000. Our email address is weather@flagfamily.com. You can also utilize that chat box like Joseph trying to win that rain gauge. Sorry, Joseph, you got to be here in person, buddy. YouTube and Facebook Live as well as Acres TV. You can also stop by the booth. We got an extra microphone if you want to jump on for a moment or add on to the conversation here in the Morton building.
John just messaged us.
John?
Yeah.
Like Jar Jar John?
Yeah, like so when John's on, remember we hear the radio go click, 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 click. That's everybody turning.
Yeah, what he has to say.
He said the word of the day is chemtrails, not the other word that we had.
Clearly,
sorry, John, you are wrong.
Clearly,
wrong.
you're not a Facebook
Clearly,
follower.
he's not sure what's going on there.
All right,
Perfect.
well, what do we got here? Why don't we just say we hit this bottom of the hour news, come back, we'll get QuickDick McDick on with us. Again, the program phone number is 701-293-9000. That's sponsored by the Red Wing Shoes here in Fargo, 3003 Main Avenue. Stop on over there, check out the boots. They got great deals. Teresa will hook you up. Bridgette, we got our Red Wings on. Mine are a lot dirtier than yours. So
give me time.
Who's been working harder here?
Right.
Well, that's an easy answer.
Who went out and worked in the mud the one day like an idiot?
One day.
Well, she's working hard every day on the dry stuff. Yeah, there we go.
All right, we all know who that was.
Bottom of the hour news. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
Your steps sinking, not only posing a safety hazard, but also an eyesore? Say goodbye to those unsightly and dangerous steps with Precision Concrete Cutters, Ramjack North.
We understand that sinking steps can ruin the curb appeal of your home. That's why we specialize in restoring both safety and beauty to your property. Our team of experts uses innovative techniques and cutting-edge equipment to lift and stabilize your steps, providing a long-lasting solution that enhances the aesthetics of your home. Don't let the sinking steps bring down the charm of your property. Contact Precision Concrete Cutters, Ramjack North.
Pucklet Chevrolet GMC believes you deserve a reliable pre-owned vehicle that fits your needs and budget. Car Bravo at Pucklet Chevrolet GMC gives you an expansive inventory of Car Bravo certified GM and non-GM used vehicles. Confidence and peace of mind come standard as every Car Bravo certified vehicle includes a 126-point inspection and a 6-month or 6,000-mile warranty. Choice, confidence, peace of mind. Feel the used euphoria at PuckletValleyCity.com, North Dakota's Car Bravo headquarters.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker. WDAY News First. Fargo City Commissioner Dave Pepcorn is speaking out against funding the city's homeless assistance program at the Downtown Engagement Center.
The property taxpayers in Fargo are now the regional providers for the homeless. We're a magnet city.
Pepcorn is calling for budget cuts. Proposed funding in the 2024 budget for the Downtown Engagement Center is $1.3 million. The second Republican primary debate is set for September 27th, and the participation of North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is still in question. Burgum's campaign says they've secured the 50,000 individual donations from across the country to meet one requirement. But Burgum is still looking for at least a 3% polling rate, which is also necessary for him to take the stage. Minnesota House Minority Leader Lisa Demuth says it's incredibly urgent for Governor Walz to call a special session to repeal a new law which restricts the types of physical restraints school resource officers can use on students. Last week, Governor Walz backtracked on the possibility of a special session after 44 DFL lawmakers produced a statement urging Walz not to call a special session. South Dakota's Public Utilities Commission has denied a permit application for Summit Carbon Solutions to build a pipeline through the state. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
Attention all growers and ag retailers. Tired of losing the war against wild oats? It's time to bring in the big guns. Avidex and Fargo herbicides from Gowan, USA. These Group 15 herbicides are your ticket to controlling Group 1 and Group 2 resistant wild oats and suppressing brome and ryegrass. Don't let these weeds invade your field. Take charge. Contact your local ag retailer today and get your hands on Avidex and Fargo. Go. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan, USA.
Come to life with Caldera Spas and the hot tub stores of North Dakota. Discover a new way to hot tub with a daily ritual of a hot tub circuit therapy. Experience the comfort, design, and performance that only Caldera Spas can deliver. Welcome to wellness with a special offer, 0% financing. That's right, 0% financing. Come to life with Caldera Spas and the hot tub stores, 815 23rd Avenue East, located by Costco in West Fargo.
Big Iron, the Midwest's largest ag show, is at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo, September 12th to the 14th. Come kick the tires and see actual infield demonstrations. New this year, Rodney Atkins live at the all-finished concrete grandstand on the Titan Machinery and Case IH stage. Where I come from. September 13th, the Big Iron with free admission to the concert. Don't miss the 43rd annual Big Iron Farm Show, September 12th to the 14th, presented by Cass County Farm Bureau. Details at bigironfarmshow.com.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus 134 on this Tuesday afternoon. Our next guest joining us, that's QuickDick McDick, QDM. Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Nice to see
looking
everyone
great.
in person. Hey, I washed and combed it this morning.
You said you were going to tell us a secret here on
I don't know if I can say it on air or not.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hang on till off air then.
Just feed it a lot of fertilizer.
Hey, there we go.
That's what you do. Yeah. That's what we do when we farm. We feed things fertilizer, right?
Well,
That's
let's
exactly
be honest.
what it
This
is.
group's kind of full of it, so I think we're going to be okay.
And obviously, you got to keep it well watered too. And I found that my beard drinks beer the best. So yeah.
Oh, awesome! So that's a lager.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Oh, mine's coming in just fine.
So welcome to Big Iron. Your
Thanks.
first trip down here.
It is. Yeah, it is. First trip down here. And yeah, geez, this is a big farm show here. And I would never have imagined there's this many people that actually know who I am down
Or
here.
live in the state of North Dakota.
No, you're forgetting. See, I come from Tufnell, Saskatchewan.
That's right.
So
That's right.
any kind of population is shocking to me.
You know,
you got traffic lights and everything down here.
You know, we've been saying your name, and just even using QDM, people are like, oh, he's going to be here. I was already told by one of the farmers who stopped by, he said, your road grader video is one of his favorites because he farms and has a grader.
Yeah.
So he thought that was great. He said, but he's the guy who would be the grader operator who stops at the elevator to drink coffee with the farmers.
See, and like so I run into him at the booth, and I was like, that's really good damage control. I was like, I see what you're doing. Two things at once. You're pleading your case while you're there, and you're making sure they can't talk about you behind your back at the elevator.
Right.
I was like, it's genius. I'm going to take that back home to the grader guys and let them know that that's what you do. Yeah. To fight the cause a little bit, right?
I love that idea.
That's kind of the coolest thing about being here is you get a lot of people, everyone comes up, they get a different video that they like of what you've done. And everyone's like, hey, we liked your meatloaf video. And I was like, awesome. And then the other guy's like, hey, we liked how you rag on Trudeau. And then the other guy's like, hey, I liked your grader video. So, you know.
What's your favorite video that you've shot?
Hands down, number 9 wire.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I did it really early, and it took me 5 minutes to make it. And like a lot of these take a lot of time to do, and that one just took me. I just started walking around the farm just with different uses of what we use number 9 wire on, and like it was endless. And like once I started going, I was like, when do I stop?
You can't. You're just going to keep going.
Yeah, but it was just fun, and I completely forgot about it till I got onto talk radio show in Saskatchewan. John Gormley, he's like the biggest conversation in Saskatchewan, and he did this montage. And then I heard a clip from the number 9. I was like, I completely forgot about that video. But yeah, eventually you kind of forget about a lot of it.
Well, we were just watching your carbon tax video back in April, and we did a little reaction to it while we were live on the air. And there was something else that's going on up there with that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's just it's really neat to talk to people about it down here because, you know, the carbon tax doesn't really exist down here.
Not
we were
yet.
talking about not yet. Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about just drying grain, and like corn is a different beast to me because there's not a lot of guys that grow corn where we're at. There's some guys grow it to graze it kind of thing or whatever, and fuel silage it, and that's about it. But you know, we were just talking about different drying practices with corn and everything. And I was like, well, you know, we try and dry as little as possible up north because not only, you know, do we got to pay the cost for propane, natural gas, whatever it is you're doing, but you got to pay carbon tax on top of that. And everybody just kind of glazes over and like, what do you mean carbon tax? And when you explain that it is a tax that the government taxes you to burn fuels to get your crop dry to put in the bin, and then they charge you general sales tax on top of the carbon tax, like, what, your government taxes you on a tax? Yes, welcome to Canada.
You know, okay, you said you didn't realize how many people down here knew who you were, but I bet the bigger part is they don't know what's been going on up there for you. I mean, this has got to be just as educational for you to teach more than anything.
Yeah, it really is. But I mean, and I think kind of one of the bigger parts about coming down and talking to people down in the States here is like it's more of a like, don't let this get ahead of you kind of thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's a conversation that you need to be tuned into a lot of this stuff. And I think that's what we're really missing in a lot of the areas of agriculture. Even if you were paying attention, if you want to talk about crazy things that happen in Canada, they were doing some front of package beef labeling things with Health Canada just like last year, where they wanted to come out and they wanted to put a high saturated fat warning label on the front of all ground beef that they sell in Canada because they want to disincentivize people from buying it kind of thing. You're like, whoa, you want to do what? Well, yeah. Okay, so you can go down to the store and you can buy a soda pop with however 60 grams of sugar in it, and you can buy all this garbage from a convenience store or whatever. That's no problem. But you want to take healthy beef that's high in vitamins and minerals and healthy fats and protein. and it is an actual affordable kind of beef that people can buy at the store that are living paycheck to paycheck in Canada, and now you want to tell people that it's like you want to make them believe that it's unhealthy for them to eat on front of package labeling. Does this make sense? No.
No.
But we got out in front of it, and everyone made enough noise, and all of a sudden, Health Canada got figured out. They're like, whoa, we're biting off more than we can chew here, and then they start backpedaling on it. Like that's when you come down here and you start talking to people down here about things like the carbon tax. Like this is your opportunity. If you ever hear anything like that going on, all you got to do is just start getting louder than the voice over there that's telling you that this is what we're going to do.
We've got the new farm bill coming up
later this year. We do. And my question along that line, Dean, was, okay, so how does your voice get louder? Are you doing it through commodity groups like your soybean associations and so forth, or independently?
To a certain extent. I don't know if you see my YouTube channel. I'm really loud on that sometimes.
I took a guess. I took a guess on that one.
I think it's more, I guess it's loose use of the word or phrase, be loud about it, because you can't be loud to the point where you're obnoxious and people don't want to listen to you anymore kind of thing. But you just need to be loud to the point, and when I say loud, like I guess I try and make myself loud by using comedy and different things to get into people. You can be loud in different ways. When I say be loud, like be receptive to somebody by being loud so that people hear you.
Right.
You can yell and bang on a pot as much as you want, but that's only going to go so far, and then people are going to start toning you out and be like, hey, I'm tired of listening to this. But maybe if you can do something, maybe in a funny way, talk about how a carbon tax is going to affect you, or maybe make a song about it or something like that kind of thing. But you'd be surprised like how a jingle can stick in somebody's head.
Yes.
Well, you got it pretty figured out on your YouTube channel, TikTok, all those different things. I mean, I watched your videos and it's like, this guy's funny. Like, just straight up, he's funny. He's making great points, but he's doing it in an engaging way where I want to hear what he's going to say next about this versus somebody else who's just spitting out what's going on. You're like, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's how you get someone to listen. That's how you get that voice louder, is keeping them engaged in it.
Totally.
And being willing to listen.
Yeah.
Because if you're not willing to hear the other perspective, too, that doesn't help. And you're exactly right. In ag, we are so good at saying, no, I just do this, and I don't have to tell anybody the why. And
couldn't
that
agree
is
more,
going to
Bridgette.
bury us.
Absolutely.
Because we don't share the information.
One thing that I've noticed in the last little while is I've really tried to we live in some really crazy silos on social media and in our day-to-day lives kind of thing, where we're just exposed to the same opinion by the same people all the time kind of thing. And what I've really tried to do, especially lately, is try and get outside of my normal viewing audience and get into places where I'm in a situation where I have a whole group of people that disagree with what I'm saying.
Sure.
And it's probably one of the better challenges that you'll ever do to yourself is to get in these situations and get a whole bunch of people that have the same opinion that disagree with your opinion, and
educate them.
Educate them or defend your opinion, or maybe that'll put you in a spot where you're like, okay, maybe I need to change the way I look at this. But if we don't understand where everyone else is coming from and why they have the opinion that they have, we're just going to keep spinning our tires. But I think people are pretty shocked when they actually sit down and talk to me in real life, is that I'm kind of not like a nut job cowboy. Well, to a certain extent.
I don't know. Will I see you in the beer garden later?
Yeah, well, of course, that's where I get the other loud kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's been a couple of Canadians that probably nobody down here would know about, but just that are more left-leaning politically and more towards, say, veganism or electric vehicles and a few different things. And they have great points of doing things the way that they do it. But at the same point in time, we have great points of why we do things the way we do things as well. And I think a better approach to humanity, if you want to call it, is meet in the middle and try and find some common ground with each other. I'm not going to beat up on anybody that wants to, that thinks that we can just go farm with an electric tractor and hook it into a solar panel and everything's going to work out for the rest of our lives.
Right.
But, I can talk a little bit and be like, hey, here's why it doesn't make sense. But you need to be able to hear my point of being like, it's a timely operation. We need X amount of horsepower and X amount of time, and that can't be delivered physically by what you're trying to push on me. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. And there was a podcast that I went on with a guy out of Calgary who's very much urbanized and lives in the center of a city, who is not directly affected by the carbon tax and doesn't understand how a lot of his food gets to the grocery store. Or when he's going to buy an avocado at the grocery store, doesn't realize that it came from Mexico on a truck all the way through the States up, or out of California up into Canada.
And he really wants that avocado.
He really wants it, and that's fine. Eat your avocado. I'm okay with it.
But unfortunately, that poor avocado is only good for about the 15 seconds after it crosses the border, so get it while you can. Nonetheless, it takes a while to get there.
But these are the same people in Canada that will look at you and be like, well, I'm not affected by carbon tax. I'm like, what did you pay for that avocado? Wow, whatever an avocado's worth. I don't know because I don't eat them. But do you know how much of that is incorporated into fuel costs and transportation to just getting that to you, let alone what it takes to grow it?
Right.
Yeah. Now, would you say that carbon tax is the biggest thing impacting farmers in Canada right now?
It's a large impact. There's actually been some legislation that actually passed our House of Commons here in third reading, and it's actually sitting at our Senate right now, which is Bill C-234 in Canada, which would exempt us from on-farm use of propane, natural gas from the carbon tax if we're drying our grain and heating our barns with it. But we have a government that takes the summer off like they're still like they graduated school and they never left school. You still get the summers off and all that stuff or whatever. We won't get into that, but there's when we see what's been happening in Europe with fertilizer use. And a lot of different things, but there's a lot of that language is starting to come to Canada as well. When you get some very progressive governments that are trying to go with world ideology on how we work things, fertilizers turn into another big hot button topic, and that's why I did a quick video on it a little while ago, which was kind of one of my most successful videos that I've done to date, just outlining how
carbon
we manage but it was how we manage fertilizer and what we do for our 4R nutrient programs and how we work with agronomists and how we use technology and we do swap mapping and we do sectional control, we do variable rate. There's all these different things that we do to make sure that we're using the least amount of fertilizer in the most efficient way possible, because I don't know if anybody out there knows it or not, but farming's a business. And when you farm, you want low input costs and you want high yields, right?
Yes.
And so naturally in a business sense, the goal of farming is to always do better, to do better, to do better. You don't need government policy to come and do it. But this is a big thing that's happening in Canada here now. You get people that catch on to different globalist ideas that, okay, well, we need to knock down the use of fertilizers and everything. Well, hey, guys, I'm glad you finally caught up to the party. It's already our goal.
We were doing that.
Yeah, but they just don't realize it. So that's been another really big thing that we're really keeping an eye on in Canada here, beef industry-wise. Everyone's always the big chase on methane emissions from cattle and everything, and we're just not looking at carbon sequestration and rotational grazing and maintaining our marginal lands. So I think there's all these things that are a lot of very common things that a lot of things that we have in common from north to south of the 49th parallel here, and it's just we just seem to just have a government right now that's really, really focusing on being progressive on these things. So same thing, like working with advocacy groups and working with, the Canadian Cattlemen's Association and working with the canola growers and the wheat growers and the oat growers. And, our advocacy groups are very important when we're dealing with things like this, because they are your voice in government. They're the groups that go and lobby your politicians, and these are important groups to us, right?
So how long until you run?
I don't think my language is allowed in Parliament in
Just
Canada.
Carry around the bell so you can ring that every time those come out.
I'm shocked I haven't been beeped out here yet. I've actually been able to control my language. I was just like, hey, just pretend mom's at the table and you'll get smacked in the back of the head. Exactly. Right?
So we got these metal cupcake pans here.
They seem nice. I thought that was a piece off of a baler or something.
No. I cheated and I said, guys,
apparently you put your cob in there.
I said,
corn
what
cob.
these are? And they
corn cob.
You knew where I was headed.
Give it a good twist.
This is why we have to go catch up with the news
right
and
off.
so forth. But when we come back, we'll touch on the weather. We'll finish our conversation with QuickDick McDick. So stick with us and stop by and see us while you're at Big Iron.
Don't start harvest off with sore feet. Stop in and purchase a pair of Red Wing boots. Hi, Teresa here from the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. If you're planning on coming to Fargo for Big Iron, make sure to put Red Wing shoes and custom insoles on the top of your list. Nothing's worse than sore feet during harvest. Stop in and check out our vast selection of styles and colors. You'll be surprised. 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wing shoes for ultimate durability.
Oil and natural gas help provide the things our counties and communities need. Taxes paid by the oil and natural gas industry fund schools, roads, and flood protection across North Dakota. That means we can run our farms and businesses and educate leaders for our future. It's one of the many ways oil and natural gas are making life better in North Dakota for generations. North Dakota's oil and natural gas, advancing the possibilities.
Jay Thomas here. Make sure you join me during Big Iron, September 12th and 13th from 2 to 5 p.m. I'll be doing the Jay Thomas Show live from the Brenco building. Stop by, say hi, chat with the Brenco team about their full line of Kodiak floor scrubbers and Karcher heated pressure washers. Ask them how you can save big during Big Iron. Join me, Jay Thomas, live from the Brenco building, 2 to 5 p.m., September 12th and 13th. Go to BrencoOnline.com. Jay Thomas here. Make sure you join me during Big Iron, September 12th and 13th from 2 to 5 p.m.
Discover Kinder Care. Kinder Care is assisted living homes located in West Fargo, offering adult daycare services, companion care, and assisted living. All the services you need available at Kinder Care, plus home-cooked meals, 24-hour security, personal care, and more, all in a cozy family environment located on 3 acres of land in a scenic, quiet country setting in West Fargo. KinderCareFargo.com or call 701-261-3246.
Bridgette Readel, Ag Director here at Big Iron. Join myself, Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, and Meteorologist Justin Storm. We'll be broadcasting Weather and Ag in Focus live from the Morton Building. Stop by and meet us today from 1 to 2 p.m. That's Weather and Ag in Focus live from the Morton Building. Stop by and meet us today from 1 to 2 p.m.
Attention harvest workers. Ogard Family Farms is looking for truck and tractor drivers to help them with the sugar beet harvest. No CDL is required, but you do need a valid driver's license. They offer full hookup campground, great pay, as well as overtime. Call today, 701-371-2180. That's 701-371-2180.
I'm Bill Bradford, the proud new owner of Wheels Power Sports in Fargo. I'm a husband, father, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and outdoor enthusiast. At Wheels Power Sports, we pour our focus into our team and our customers. We know that if our team is happy and delivering a great experience to you, our customer, there's no way we can fail. We are here to get to know you and build a lasting relationship with you as soon as you walk in. It's our goal to earn your trust, respect your time, and treat you fairly. As you gear up for harvest season, we hope to see you for all your Polaris UTV needs and to take advantage of the exclusive egg offers only at Wheels Power Sports Fargo.
Mark your calendars and join the Coffee Club live on location at Shea West Garden Center September 15th for day 2 of the 3rd annual Apple Smash. This includes discounts on garden decor and planters, crafts for the littles, a family photo op, fresh cider, and apple donuts. That's the 3rd annual Apple Smash. September 14th through 17th at Shea West Garden Center on the corner of Cheyenne and 40th West Fargo. Again, Cheyenne and 40th West Fargo.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. 152. We're live out here in the Morton Building at Big Iron. You're out and about. Stop on in. Say hi. You got that keyword on our Facebook page. Stop by. Say it. First 2 people will win themselves a rain gauge from Productive Alternatives out of Fergus Falls. And these aren't those little cheap $4 1-inch rain gauges. This baby holds over 11 inches. Costs like $50 or something? So outrageously expensive for a rain gauge, but
these
it's
are
awesome.
These are the ones you can leave out all season long.
Yes.
Yeah, these
they're
are
not going to break. They're not
deal.
going to crack. They're all good.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
You're paying.
You're supposed to put your rain gauges back in. That's why I go through all these things.
Yes.
There you go.
So these are built in Fergus Falls, Minnesota by Productive Alternatives.
Yeah, these things are awesome.
And
It's worth what you pay for them because they're heavy duty.
Oh, that's awesome. You can almost run over one of these things with a lawnmower and it would make it, eh?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
If your rain gauge is somewhere where your lawnmower is going to hit it, maybe you're doing this wrong.
Well,
maybe we've all been doing it wrong.
Let's be honest. My lawnmowers have 4 legs and udders. You think I start a lawnmower and pay carbon tax? Doesn't happen.
That voice you're hearing, that's QDM QuickDick McDick. He's joining us on the show, and glad you're here. And we had a guest on, well, I think this was actually last fall. What was it, Derek Josie from TDF Farms in Oregon. He's a dairy farmer. I'm sure you probably heard of him. He's a big Facebook.
Oregon Derek? Yeah.
That's him. Derek Josie.
He was telling us some stories about all the people on Facebook that tell him that his dairy cows are malnourished and they're going to call the Humane Society on. He's like, hey, these aren't beef cattle or dairy. You're supposed to see the bones. Or he's like, people are just being stupid on there. So I wanted to ask you, because you're a social media platform user as well, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. How often do you get people that don't know what they're doing telling you that you're doing it wrong?
99.3% of the time. Are we still talking about my dad, or are we talking about somebody else?
That guy.
No, it's, I think one of the bigger things.
You too?
Yeah. Just free, unsolicited advice that I don't want for the rest of my life. Yeah. Yes. No, actually, I get great advice from my dad most of the time. But it's one of the bigger things I think that I see more than anything is use of different like pesticides that people just don't understand. And like for a case in point, just recently here we were harvesting oats, and like I'm a big advocate for oats. I love oats. I love eating oats. I did a whole bunch of episodes. I got to tour a mill of how they do oats and process them and everything, and it was just really cool. And I don't know why I just love oats so much, but anyways, I was just doing like a quick drone shot of some oats, and boom, 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 and put it on the internet, and there's like 10 people in there. Are your oats soaked in glyphosate?
Yes, they are. Do you want to eat it?
Don't start that rumor. I have had to tamp this down.
But like, and like right behind, oh yeah, a bunch of GMO oats. I'm like, there's literally no such thing as GMO oats. Do you even know that? You know what I mean? Like, and then when it comes down to the glyphosate conversation, it's like this year we took our oats straight. We didn't desiccate. Everything was fine. But I mean, even when we're talking about if we have to desiccate wheat or something like that, and you talk about rates with people, they're like, oh, they're soaked in glyphosate and da da da. I'm like, okay, so so now I have to talk this hybrid that I do with the metric system in Canada.
You gotta do math.
Yeah, so it's 0.4 liters per acre kind of thing or whatever, right? So like what I did with this one person, and I'm going to try and do an upload of it. So I want to take that 0.4 liters and show them what 0.4 liters looks like, and then here's what 1 acre looks like, and here's the 130 bushels of oats that we got off of that 1 acre. So you take this 0.4 liters and you put it on here, and you go through all these different processing factors where it gets processed, and then it winds up being in a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
It's just like, there is no possible way ever whatsoever that you would ever ingest any of this stuff to ever hurt you in any way, shape, or form possible. But all it takes is one whack job on like a Joe Rogan podcast to be like, well, this is where celiac showed up, actually, is when they started using glyphosate on wheat or whatever. You're just like,
I have all the violent words right now.
Oh, what is it?
So because I do this all the time. Okay, if someone wants to talk about what does glyphosate actually look like, first of all, you're right. There are only 7 GMO crops. Oats is not one of them. Glyphosate, we are usually using a pint, so we are talking about 16 ounces, which is a tall beer, spread over a football field after you diluted it in 2 5-gallon pails of water.
Exactly.
Let's start there.
So you're going to love this video when I do it, Bridgette.
Because, I can't wait.
Because I like to do
measurements. I know where to get the 5-gallon pails.
Exactly.
They're all around here.
They're everywhere, yeah. But like this, and I think what's really missing is people just aren't able to visualize what happens. And that's what I tried to do, like with one of my carbon tax videos that I did, is when I was showing of how to mess around with with different GHGs throughout the world. If you get a visual explanation of something that people can look at a volume and be like, oh, I didn't realize that's what it was, it really calms them down a lot. And I think that's why I want to do this, because it's like glyphosate is a tool that we use. It's not the devil. It's
you
not
could take it a whole other level and figure out how many micro droplets are on each plant.
There is actually, like when you look at oatmeal, there is actually an equation. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 bowls of oatmeal per day every year for 80 years before you would hit a tolerance level within the body.
Yeah.
So if you can eat that much oatmeal, good luck, God bless.
Yeah, you are very regular.
Totally.
Hey, QDM, we got about a minute left of the show. If you want to say anything to your listeners, people following you, and also where people can view your content at, handles.
Yeah, no, just anybody that does follow along, thanks for following along, and hope we can keep having fun for the next little while. It's kind of the goal of it is just to laugh and have fun, and so just viewer beware. Sometimes I always warn people before I get a little bit potty mouth there.
Make sure the kids
are
around.
A little spicy.
Yeah, but like QuickDick McDick on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, because the Ghost of Chairman Mount wanted my banking information, so I figured I'd give it to him on TikTok. And then QD McDick on Instagram, because Instagram wouldn't let me have QuickDick McDick. So, yeah. Be careful when you
file an appeal to get someone's name removed from your.
Be careful when you Google me; it may take you to a website.
Search at your own risk, children. Do not do that. That's going to do it for us here on Weather and Ag in Focus today. Really appreciate everyone joining in via email, chats, chat boxes. We're back tomorrow live out in Morton Bilton here at Big Iron. We hope to see you tomorrow. Everyone have a great rest of your afternoon. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
There's one question I ask those who suffer from chronic lower back pain.